Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island 2020, the winter edition episode 2. Obviously following on from the last episode, we all know that, there's going to be a double man snatching at the end of this episode. Obviously the twins, Eve and Jess, have come in and they've been tasked with snatching a man each. So obviously yesterday I said that I was only really sure of Callum being snatched. I wasn't really sure who the other guy would be, but it becomes very clear that it is most likely the second guy was going to be Mike. So obviously the men in the house are just very excited over these twins. Again, I'm not really sure what the infatuation is about. I think it's just a twin fetish thing. Mike is pretty much one of the first vocal ones that basically says he thinks that they're both fine. And then he basically makes a comment and says that Leanne is really reserved and that he's hoping that him getting attention, well, possible attention from the twins at that point, they hadn't really gone up to him and said they were interested in him yet when he made this comment. But he basically said that, he thinks that the twins coming in might give Leanne a kick up the backside. And a kind of general comment was a kind of that, the girls weren't really grafting. They weren't really maybe making an effort or showing affection or attention to the men in the house. I just feel like, one, it's literally day one, 24 hours. I don't understand why you'd expect someone to be like falling head over heels with you and acting like you guys are in a long-term relationship. And second, it just feels very fishy to me. Like this whole, girls competing over men and how like men kind of like that. And I feel like he's one of those people that like women fighting over him and giving him attention. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here for any man that needs like to be like chased. I'm not a chaser. But what do you guys feel like? Do you feel like, now 2020, is it time for girls to be shooting their shot, or do you feel like that is the man's responsibility? Let me know. So in the beginning of the episode, another thing that I was noticing is Connor. And I feel like Connor is looking more and more like he's going to be revealed as a very insecure contestant. One thing I've noticed is that when the boys were speaking amongst himself, he said that Sophie isn't his type, but he's just going to see how it goes with her. And again, I found that very interesting because Sophie is gorgeous. I don't understand how somebody as gorgeous as Sophie couldn't be Connor's type. I'm judging very hard. But what do you think about that statement? I just kind of feel like Connor is very insecure and he was still pressed from the comment from last night. So now he's saying Sophie isn't his type. And I feel like this is him trying to make himself feel good about himself, especially since he was in the company of men when he said that, sort of putting Sophie down. Like, she's not my type, but she's a gorgeous girl. Kind of feels like a backhanded compliment. So that's already telling me that it's not necessarily Sophie's not his type. I feel like he is insecure, and the comment last night made him quite insecure, so now he's trying to put Sophie down a bit. But what do you guys think? And then after that, him and Sophie have a talk, and they basically kind of address last night's situation, but not. They just kind of say to each other, oh, how are you feeling about us? How are you feeling about us? But don't really address it. And then they both kind of say, they both want to get to know each other. They're not really interested in getting to know somebody else. And then literally 2 seconds later, the twins pull him from a chat and he's like, oh yeah. And he just like jumps up, like not even, I just feel like if you were to just looking to speak to Sophie, you wouldn't have been so eager to get up, and you probably would have just been like, oh, can I catch up with you guys later? Or just outright said no if that was really the case. So again, I just feel like, it's early days, literally 24 hours, but the integrity is just, I just feel like the integrity of these contestants are very weak. And I feel like this could be potentially entertaining. So obviously in the beginning of the episode, Shauna already knows that the twins are after her man. Leanne isn't really that sure yet, but she kind of suspects they're after her man too. And then obviously when they when they pick up Callum and Mike for a chat, it's very clear they are the front runners of the snatching. So the twins are discussing, in the beginning of the episode, who the potential people are. And the three names that come up are Connor, Callum and Mike. But I feel like it wasn't really that much of a tease. We knew it was going to be Mike and Callum. But, obviously before the result and everything, some of the guys are being extra nice to the twins. Naz is making them breakfast, cracking jokes with them. Shanice isn't here for it. She's like, how come he's making an effort with them? He's not really making an effort with me. And again, I just feel like that is very cheeky because she said that she doesn't like him. And she made it very clear, a clear point to tell everyone that she doesn't like him. So I just feel like it is very cheeky. I feel like maybe Shawnice is a person that needs attention all of the time. And even if she doesn't necessarily find you attractive, she still expects you to give her attention. But yeah, can we understand where Shawnice is coming from? Or do you feel like she was cheeky for that? So obviously we have our first challenge of the season. And of course, they've sexed it up. It's a kind of sex themed challenge where they guess each other's sexy secrets. And, so basically the secret is said out loud and the person who opens it has to guess who it is by kissing the person. So obviously, kisses. Let's talk about the kisses first. So obviously, Mike kisses Leanne. Leanne kisses Mike as well when it's her turn. Leanne said that Mike was a bad kisser, but Mike said that he liked Leanne kiss to him. But yeah, it kind of seemed like there was some chemistry there. Naz kisses Shawnice. That looked like a good kiss. In the confessional, Shawnice says that the kiss was good, but she didn't feel the chemistry, she didn't feel the spark. And I just feel like, is it every day cuss Naz? Like, is it every day put Naz down? Just say it was a good kiss and leave it at that. All of this extra business, ain't nobody care about that. We know you don't like Naz. Okay, we get it. Ollie kisses Paige, but Paige doesn't kiss Ollie back. On Paige's go, she kisses Connor, and that kiss, it was like, a kissy kiss, it wasn't no peck. It was, it had some oomph to it. And, Sophie basically gave her okay for the kiss, but I could tell that Sophie was either not impressed or she was just like, maybe she was at that point where she's convincing herself like Connor is not that guy and this just confirms it. I feel like that's what Sophie's kind of reaction kind of was rather than jealousy. Shauna, of course, kisses Callum. She made sure, Callum felt that kiss. She was like, okay, like, you're going to feel this kiss. You're going to feel my warmth. Giving him a little taste, letting him know what she's working with. And then, of course, the twins, one of them kisses Callum and one of them kisses Mike. And again, it was a bit of a saucy kiss. I feel like the one who kissed Callum, I can't tell them apart yet. The one who kissed Callum, she kept it cute. But the one who kissed Mike, she was really going for it. What do you guys think about the kisses? Do you think they're very telling? I feel like potentially a telling kiss could maybe be Paige and Connor. Maybe Paige could move on to Connor because I don't think that Sophie and Connor are going to last. But I'll speak on that a bit later. Obviously, when Mike and Callum were being kissed, Leanne and Shauna were like visibly upset. And, it's only really been 24 hours, but it seems like, some feelings have developed for both Shauna and Leanne. Obviously, Honourable kind of mentions in the whole kind of challenge, it was revealed that the most Naz has ever spent on a first date has been £20. Now me, I'm bougie. I would never go on a £20 date. Because if you think about it, it's not even just £20 because that's £20 split between the both of you. If he's really about, if he's really trying to court you, then that's £20 between both of you. So what is that, £10 a head? I'm not coming out my house for that. Yeah, ladies, could you do a £20 date between the both of you? Ladies, are you not too bothered? Would a £20 date be okay for you? Or do you feel like a £20 date is just a bit too cheap? Let me know what you think. But yeah, it's no surprise to me that he has been dumped a lot, because I feel like he's 20, because I feel like, once you get over 20, £20 dates just ain't really doing it. Like, even when I'm taking myself out to eat, the bill is always over £20. So I don't know what I'd be doing with somebody who was trying to do that for the whole day. So another thing that was kind of causing, some friction between Paige and Ollie, obviously his secret came out that he had cheated on one of his partners 8 or 9 times. For me, I don't really think that's a big of a shock, because, he's quite young, and, young men are just known for being, for cheating out here. So what do you guys think? Because, Ollie hasn't cheated on her. He kind of defended himself, saying he didn't cheat on his last partner. So what do we think? Do you feel like Paige has the right to be upset, even though Ollie hasn't cheated on her, and even though he's expressed that he has now changed his behavior in terms of cheating? Or do we feel like this is just Paige trying to make an excuse for herself to exit the relationship? Let me know what you think. Another thing was that I think it was Eve. Well, one of the twins must have got a DM from Tiger. That isn't really much of a surprise. They're like 20 years old, so still quite young. And Tiger has a thing for young white girls, so that's not a surprise there. I'm not really sure if that's a bragging rights thing though, because like, these rappers are just thirsty. And then obviously Connor having slept with over 100 people. I just feel like I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that. Connor looks like somebody who does that. You know what? He's not the best looking guy at that, but it's surprised what these average looking men can manage to put their dick inside and how many times they can do it. A debate that comes out time and time and again is kind of like body count. And then in the confessional, again, he's just feeling very sorry for himself and like, oh, I don't really want to be judged and stuff like that. And it's just like, you didn't have to tell, well, first off, you didn't actually have to tell the producers that. And then second, it's just like, I don't know how you can get to the point where you're sleeping with over 100 people and then feeling ashamed about it. I don't know whether he's ashamed about it or whether he feels like people will judge him. Sophie, she didn't react badly, but I feel like she was disgusted by the number. I feel like she was. She's just trying to keep on a brave face, but I can tell like Sophie is not feeling Connor anymore. And then also when Sophie was like, how would you feel if I'd slept with over 100 people? He said, I know it's not nice. So is there a double standard going on? I feel like, is Connor one of those people who would sleep with over 100 people but wouldn't want to be with a girl who slept with over 100 people? I feel like maybe he's one of those people. Yeah, I've got to ask, could you be with someone who slept with over 100 people? Me personally, I don't think I would even think to ask. I just feel like if we're together, and it's just about us. It's not about the people in the past. So long as everything is good in our relationship, then who you slept with in the past or how many people you slept with in the past shouldn't really matter. But what do you guys think? After the challenge, Leanne and Mike kind of speak to each other. Leanne kind of pulls him to the side and says, how are you feeling after the challenge? Obviously, we kissed. You kissed one of the twins. How are we feeling? And they basically say that they both like each other, and obviously they kind of want to see how things go. But again, like I was saying in the beginning of the podcast, I did not trust this Michael guy, because literally after that, the twins pull him to the side. And, well, I don't know if it was the twins or the twin. I can't remember. Well, at least one of them pulls him to the side and, they ask him where his head at is with Leanne. And he basically says that he likes Leanne, but, he's keeping things open and he's let her know that. But when they were speaking before, he didn't say that. He kind of slipped it in when he went back to speak to kind of address what he spoke about with the twins. And even then, he was still very vague about it to Leanne about being open. And at this point, I kind of felt like, yes, he would be happy if he wasn't picked. I feel like he would have been fine with not being picked because he still would have had Leanne. But then I feel like his first choice would have been being picked, because then he'd have two women fighting over him. And it's kind of the same thing with Shauna and Callum. They actually just didn't speak until like the very end of the episode. And again, I kind of felt like they were speaking. They both said that they liked each other, but Callum again was being quite vague. He was saying, you know, it's early days, like we'll just see how it goes. But then just being very vague and not really saying, well, I like the twins, I want to explore that. But then with the twins, he's just like, oh yeah, you know, early days, like anything can happen. I'm open to anything. We're just, you know, taking it day at a time. See, these men, I guess it's a game at the end of the day. But yeah, these men, they're very shifty. They cut a long story short, obviously, the twins, they both say they want Callum. Then there's a little argument between them, which was quite weird. And then obviously one of them picks Callum and one of them picks Mike, leaving Leanne and Shauna single. And yeah, I'm not sure how I felt about that recoupling, because, you know, they had the dramatic music in the back, but it's only fully been like 24 hours. Like we haven't even really grown any attachment to the characters, or not characters, to the contestants. So it's not like they've been there a week or something, you know. It's literally just been a day. But yeah. So obviously, but Shauna and Leanne both look upset. They both look unimpressed. And they get a text, and it basically said that there's going to be like a recoupling later on in the week, and the two people that are not picked will be dumped from the island. I'm pretty sure that they said dumped, but correct me if I'm wrong. So then obviously that now puts pressure on Leanne and Shauna to get their men back, because obviously if they don't, then they're going to get kicked off the island. And obviously in the preview, you just basically see Mike saying, oh, he's like 50-50, or like, you know, 45-55. And like I said, Mike, I couldn't trust him, and Mike cannot be trusted. Another Mike that can't be trusted. It's always these emergency services Mikes. They can't be trusted. And obviously, he wants people to fight over him. That's what he wants. He wants Leanne to graft after him. But what do you guys think about that? Because, like I said, it's only been 24 hours. Mike is perfectly within reason to explore both options. But my thing is, I feel like he's getting off Leanne's distress. That's what my thing is. But what do you guys think? Do we feel like Mike is looking like he could potentially be trash? Or do you feel like he's well within his rights to explore what other options are before him? I'm just very skeptical, because like I said, I was like in the last episode, I was skeptical as well about this coupling up. And you know, there hasn't been a success story for any dark-skinned black women contestants on this show. They did Samira dirty. They did Yewande dirty. Are they gonna do Leanne dirty? Is Leanne gonna be the first person out of the villa? I really hope not. I don't think Mike would do that. I feel like he knows there would be so much backlash. He knows. But what do you guys think? Do you think Leanne is in danger? Do you think Mike will do her dirty like that? Let me know. Even with the twins and one of the twins and Shauna, do we feel like Shauna will win Callum back? I feel like she could be able to. I feel like Shauna has way more personality than the other twin, so potentially I feel like she has a good chance of winning Callum back. But what do we think? Do we feel like Shauna and Leanne have a good chance of winning their men back or not? Let me know. So on Twitter, I'm already seeing comparisons to Mike from last year. And you know what? I actually called it. I actually wrote an article. It's on This G Media, for those of you who are wondering, www.gmedia.com. And I literally predicted that he can't be trusted. Because in his VT, he said he could be trusted. Called it. You know, people are saying that Mike is blind. They can't get over how beautiful Leanne is. And she looked really good today. Her parting was on, her parting was on point today. The edges were on point today. The dress on point. Everything on point. You know, people are, saying that Leanne shouldn't, try and compete for Mike's affections. This is what I'm saying. But at the same time, it is a competition, It's not like real life where, where you can find somebody else, She's got to stay in there for a long time so she can collect her brand deal back. So, in real life, yes, I can support that. But in the competition where there is like money at stake, in a competition where there's money at stake, you gotta do what you gotta do. So even though I don't think that women should chase men, if it's a thing where you are now in a game now and there's 50k on the line, or you need to stay in there for as long as you can to secure that brand deal when you come out, you gotta do what you gotta do, girl. People are saying that the twins are creepy because they do everything together. A lot of people aren't here for the twins stealing Mike and Callum. People are saying that Leanne and Shauna are their favourites. Yeah, I feel like I love the little kind of friendship gathering. I feel like those are my two favourite housemates so far, Leanne and Shauna. But you know what? Even though I can sense that Mike is most likely trash, I love a little storyline. There's got to be a trash man in the house, every year. There always is every year, and I feel like Mike is stepping up to that plate. There's got to be one. We've got to have somebody to hate. We do. We've got to be one. There's got to be the villain in the house. We've got to have one. And I feel like Mike is going to be the villain of this season. A lot of people are making fun of the way that Jess and Eve were arguing. And yeah, it kind of reminded me of like the arguments that I have with my sisters. It is quite funny to watch. But yeah, that's pretty much what people are saying on Twitter. For those of you who are wondering what my Twitter handle is, it's Shannon Fabuloso. That's my name, my first name, and Fabuloso, Fabuloso. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't. And if you subscribe, don't forget to make sure that your notifications are on so you'll know when the next podcast is dropping. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down tomorrow, what mugginess is going on. Let me know what you thought of this episode. And till next time, guys, bye.